when do you think is important to listen to people? Because there are times that people say things to you and you just don't listen. So how would you be able to judge what you should listen to and what you should not listen to?
Yeah, do you know what? That's actually a very good question, because I will ask my friends for advice, and that's only because they've gone through it already. And I'm at the sort of beginning part of that race, and they're already at the end of it. So I'm like, what did you do to get through this? Like, how did you work through it? And depending on which friend I ask, I'll get a different answer. But I think it's a really good idea to take on advice from particular friends, but not everybody that gives you advice, because you cannot measure your relationship against everybody else's relationship around you. So you can't just blindly take advice, because that might not fit into your relationship. It might not work for you guys. Everyone's relationship is different, but I do try to take advice from my friends that have already been in very similar situations, where they've handled it, maybe badly. So, and they've said, this is what I did, and it didn't work out. So you
don't just take advice from people that their relationships are fantastic. You also take advice from people who have actually made mistakes, and they know, oh, I messed up here, I really messed up. So it makes what you said now, honestly, it makes so much sense, because people tend to speak to people that are successful. People tend to speak to people that, oh, they got it right. They don't speak to people that, because mistake makes you better, isn't it?
Exactly.
Mistake makes you stronger. So when you go to meet someone that's actually been through that thing and messed up, the person would like, you I won't let you do this. Like, I messed up and I will not let you do this. But the other guy who is successful is going to say, oh, it's your opinion, it's up to you, whatever you like, you can do it. So oh my God, this makes so much sense. I've learned something as well from you. Carry on what you're saying.
No, it's true. Like, obviously, I don't know, I've got friends that have been married for years, and I'm only just getting there, and they will give me advice, because they've gone through the rough patches, they've gone through the hard times, they've gone through the separation period, and they've got hindsight that you haven't got yet. And they are the ones that have worked through those problems. They haven't brushed them under the carpet. Like, that is something that you should never do in a relationship. Put all your problems into like a little box and just not think about it. If you don't think about it, it's not there, but it is still there, and you have to work with it.
So I'm going to ask you a question, Rumbi. So from that video, one of the things I observed is the fact that, like Muri said, we don't want to judge that girl, but I think there's more to life than kneeling down, right? Relationship and marriage is something that is so big, so massive, that kneeling down is like saying your partner didn't flush the toilet, or your partner didn't press the toothpaste from the bottom, it started from the middle, or like it
needs to be from the bottom.
Not
from the middle.
Not in the or you say your partner didn't, just something very silly, right? Because coming from a point of marriage, nearly that thing that girl did, I just pray that she doesn't regret it. Right? I hope that they go back home, sort it out, and not do. So my question to you, Rumbi, is that, do you think some girls are shallow?
Definitely, some girls could be shallow. They would want this extravagant, like, proposal or wedding, and then they're getting themselves in debt, and then maybe the marriage will last like a month or two or something like that. They just want that Instagram live, like, especially this time. It's just the Instagram. They want to be featured on Bella Niger or whatever wedding thing that's on Instagram. So I do believe that some girls are definitely shallow, and I don't know if that girl was shallow or not, but yeah, in general, I do believe, like, nowadays everyone wants that Instagram wedding, that Instagram life, but they don't know. Some people are rich that are out there on Instagram, and some people are getting themselves into debt just because they want the life, What
do you think girls should be doing to actually Because when I watched that video, I just smiled so much that I just couldn't believe my eyes, honestly. I know where the guy is coming from, and I know where the guy is coming from, but I just felt that as a girl, you're on the receiving end, right? You're not going to go propose to a guy, even if, forget what is going on now in the world, girls proposing to guys. You cannot go and propose to a guy. For a guy to come out publicly and do that, that is love. That's definitely love. So what do you think, how do you think girls should actually be getting themselves ready? Because someone like that thinks like that already, it's gonna be tough in marriage. If that's the way she thinks, it's gonna be. So how do you think girls should be preparing themselves to be more analytical thinkers and not just shallow thinkers? Rumbi.
I mean, there are books out there you can read, like positive books, or like I'm a Christian. Like the Bible tells you obviously how to do life, and just be like humble. You know, just be that wife that's just respectful, and not just. I know obviously it says submissive, and then people take the whole submissive word into a whole thing. But if you actually look what submissive means, it's a beautiful thing. It could be a beautiful thing. So I think girls should just be humble. Like maybe in that case, that girl should have just taken the ring, and then they could have spoken about it or whatever. Because she was a bit mean to the guy, and like what new I think earlier on when we spoke, like you wouldn't want to treat your partner publicly like that, because that was a bit rude. So imagine if it's just your fiance. Imagine like your husband, when you go to like a party and then you're shouting at your husband in front of everyone. That's just a bit rude, you know. Like you wouldn't want to do that. Just keep like that in behind closed doors, and you don't want to see people. So I think
Nuri, do you think she would regret that decision?
I think she would. I mean, why would you invest 5 years into a relationship if it wasn't a good relationship?
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Why would you do it? Like,
that makes so much sense.
Surely there's some like foundation that's strong there. They've built a foundation, and like it's gone for 5 years without any. Well, it might have had some hiccups, but they've worked with the hiccups if they have had them, and I wouldn't say that she won't regret that, because sometimes like us girls can get a bit emotional and we make decisions like in the heat of the moment. But again, that's just something you work on, and if that is something that is a weakness for her, then I would say he should have known that.
So if that girl is watching this video now, what would you say to her? Nuri, and maybe Rumbi will come up on that.
I would say reconsider, sister. Reconsider. Give the guy a chance.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, I'm the kind of person who would say I want a guy to kneel down, but at the same time, I wouldn't. The guy should have known that I wouldn't want a public proposal anyway. But that's my thing. But for the girl, I'll just say reconsider. If you think that was it, and then whatever, leave it. Maybe there's some deep-rooted issues that they didn't want to, if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But I think she should reconsider this whole proposal thing.
So what would you say to the guy? Because for him, hang on a minute, hang on. For him not to kneel down, right? He didn't kneel down because of so many things we don't know. Maybe upbringing, culture, his beliefs, and whatever it is. He did not kneel down, and he got that embarrassment of the first 21st century basically from that girl. I think that kind of guy that refused to kneel down with that massive ego and got that embarrassment, I think that guy is going to be mad big time. He's going to be really angry and probably just walk off, because men love respect. Like people say men love respect, sex, actually these two. Honestly, these two things are the things that if you like, give your guy the best gift in the world, give your guy the best whatever in the world. If you don't respect that guy, I don't know what you're doing. And if you don't give him the other one, the wrestling bit, you're on your own. So I think that the guy would probably not take it lightly with her. So if you want to advise that guy, right, based on what I've said, what would you say to that guy? Nuri and Rumbi. Nuri, go first.
I would say that you know, he needs to maybe put his ego aside in some situations. I think you are right. Guys love respect. And like earlier on when you were saying, you know, Rumbi was talking about guidance from her religion, from Christianity. I would say the same thing about take guidance from whatever, you know, faith you have in whatever religion. You know, I'm a Muslim, so I would take a lot of guidance from my faith, and one of the main things is respect him, because that is what guys respond to. That is their nature. Just like women respond to affection and love, and in my religion, you know, husbands are told to speak to their wives in a nice way, in an affectionate way, be playful with them, be caring towards them, because let's be honest, we love that. And then they're told to be respectful towards their husbands because they love that. That's what they respond to. And I don't know, I would say that if for him kneeling down for her whilst proclaiming again and again and again that he loves her is something that he can't do, then they definitely need to work on their relationship. Because if it's such a huge thing for him, regardless of potentially losing her, then does he really love her that much? I don't know.
Let me say something there. I'm not in support of the guy, like, but I'm trying to be as real as possible, because marriage has taught me. There was a video I made on 10 years. This year is 11 years I've been married, right?
Oh wow.
So 10 years of marriage. I made a video on the lessons I've learned. One of the things I've learned being married is that we expect too much, right? Our expectation is one thing that is killing us as women. The reality of life is different from expectation, right? Sometimes we expect too much, right? I just feel like sometimes we overdo it. We expect so much from our partners, so much from our spouses. Maybe she expected so much.
Yeah.
Right? Number one, the guy should forgive her. I know I'm saying that. I don't want to start from the just go down on your knees. No, I don't want to say that, because he's going to be really angry. He's going to be really upset, being embarrassed. I would say forgive her. If you invested 5 years into that relationship, like Miri said, there's a reason why you guys are together. There's something holding you guys together. So that's 5 minutes or 10 minutes of you not kneeling down or she embarrassing you shouldn't ruin the relationship. Actually, that should be a test on your relationship. That should be something that would, okay, I have hot temper, I get angry easily, and the guy will say, oh, my ego is something else, I need to work on this ego. And so if both of them can actually work on themselves, I think they will probably make a very beautiful couple, you know.
Exactly.
They all just need to work on themselves instead of just walking away just like that.
I think they need some counseling. If they can get counseling, I'm an advocate for counseling, premarital counseling. If the guy does forgive her, they need to work on each other. If they need a third party to like actually, because both of them, you could have, from the video, you could hear them, like the guy's like, I love you, why do I need to show my affection by kneeling down? And then the girl was like, I want you to kneel down. So there was like a clash. They were not listening to each other. So that meant even in the go on, sorry.
Like, you know what you just said, it's just reminded me of something that I read somewhere, and this was early on in, you know, my relationship, and I learned that everyone has a different love language.
Exactly.
This whole falling in love thing is falling in love is good, right? That thing going on in your body, the butterflies is beautiful.
It's fun.
The reality of life, when it hits you, right? I think the love will just go out of the window. What comes into play is respect, communication. Those are the two things that actually keeps your relationship going. So while you're doing all this loving, that's why there was a video I did on what singles should be doing while they are single and waiting. Because people just think that, oh, I'm single, I'm just going to travel, I'm just going to do everything I need to do before I get married, because I know if I get married, I'm not going to do it anymore. No, there's a lot of work you need to do. First of all, you need to find yourself. Who are you? Because if you don't find who you are, by the time you get married and you have kids, you don't even have time. I go to the toilet to eat chocolates. I was saying it the other day. I literally have to hide to have my me time, or the kids have to be asleep to actually have my me time. So you lose yourself. So you have to find yourself while you're waiting. And while you're waiting, you have to write down the qualities that you need. You need and want, right? The one you can do without and the one that you cannot do without. You write them out and say, okay, so that by the time you start dating, when you meet the first person and the person doesn't fit on the you know, when you apply for a job, there is the desirable skills and the essential, right? So if that person doesn't fit on your essential description and qualification for a spouse, right? You just say, no, this is not for me. But if the person fits on the essential, but there are some desirables that the person does not actually fit in, you know that, okay, these are desirables. You can actually work on those desirables. But essential are the things that they have to have. Like, is a no-brainer. If they don't have it, then that, for example, you as Nuri, you're a Muslim woman, you want to marry a Muslim man. So imagine a different religion coming to you. You just know that that's a no. And you as well, Rumbi. So you write out the things that are really, really important for you, that is a no-brainer, and you write out the desirables. So when you start dating, you're not going to be wasting time on things that are just doesn't make sense. And you also need to write down the things that you want to talk about, like the things you need, because when you fall in love, your brain switches off. You can't think anymore. You can't actually reason. But while you're single, you write out these things. You have a diary where you have all these things on. You start dating, even if your brain is dead, you've already written it down. So you can always remember what you've written, then you can talk about it. Some women find a guy, right, that does not fit on the essential, doesn't have the essential qualities, right? But for some reason, they feel like, I'm going to change him.
I mean, I've also done missionary dating. Like, that's like a Christian way where it's changing a bad boy into like, oh, you met him, he wasn't going to church or he wasn't doing everything, but you want to change him now to you know to become a Christian.
It's not happening.
It's hard work. Why would you want to do that for yourself?
There's a book I'm going to recommend as well. It said, don't sweat for the small stuff. I'm going to recommend that book, and I'm going to put it on the description section. If you read that book, right, sometimes your boyfriend or your fiancé is doing something, you just look at him and you just, okay, that's fine. Because it's not everything you're going to be talking about. You have to prioritize the things that you talk about and the things that you don't talk about. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked it. I hope we're able to say things, we were able to express ourselves and encourage girls, there is more to life than kneeling down. Guys, if you want to make your girl happy, make her happy based on how she wants to be happy, not how you want her to be happy. So I think this is where the problem is. So I just hope and I pray that this couple would be able to find time to resolve whatever the problem they have, and also find time to make up, because we want to see a video of them getting married. We just don't want to see like a negative video, an embarrassing video. We want another viral video of them getting married. So I just pray that God heals their relationship and makes it better. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any question about any of these things we've said, if you've got any question for Nuri, if you've got any question for Rumbi or myself, Nuri and Rumbi are going to be on the comment section to answer any question that you've got. If you've not subscribed, please press the subscribe button and the notification bell, and also check out other of my videos I've posted. So thank you so much for watching. Be grateful, be positive, and be yourself. See you on my next video. Just say bye to everyone.
Bye.